So namaste, everyone. So happy to be back with you. I've had a wonderful weekend in Atascadero. It's been quite beautiful to be there with Reverend Terry and Reverend Frank Zumalin and the beautiful spiritual community at Awakening Ways. So today, I'm going to just double check that we're on there. I've got a little spinning. There we are. Today, I thought it would be really good for us to check in with everyone about your process. And this is really just a wake-up call for some of you to realize that what's happening is really normal and that you are moving through something that's extremely powerful for you. I've been getting a few emails lately from people who are really in quite a bit of suffering. Probably for many, it may even be more suffering than they were in before they started receiving the oneness blessing. And how that doesn't really seem to make sense at first, but it's really exactly what is happening as you receive the Diksha and your Kundalini begins to clear out those places inside you that have been frozen, essentially, or that you have been ignoring for years. For some of us, because they're patterns that are part of our ancestors. It's been lifetimes that these energy patterns have been ignored. So when the Diksha is given, or as many of you are Diksha givers, when you give the Diksha, what's happening is that Kundalini is coming up. That subtle body energy is moving up through. It's moving up and clearing each of your chakras and those energy centers. But beyond that, there's 72,000 nadis in the body. And this energy is flowing. It's divine energy. It's the grace. Doug was saying last night, excuse me a minute. Doug was saying, we had a minister's call with Doug G., our guide from U.S. last night. And he was saying that because some of the ministers that went to India with me come out of a more Christian background. And for them, their divine is really, it's Jesus, it's the Christ. And he was saying you could equivocate's not the right word. You could see the energy of the Kundalini being the same as what in Christianity we know as the Holy Spirit. So it's kind of a quality of grace. It's an energy. It's a movement of energy that we can't really see, but that is bringing us into higher states of consciousness, that's bringing us into oneness with our divine. So as that Kundalini moves up, it's clearing not only the things that are blocked in each of those chakras, but it's clearing a lot of energy throughout the body as well. And when it taps in to areas that have been very very dense for years, or it's metaphoric in many ways, that we think about the energy as being crystallized energy that we have, and what we talk about in oneness as a charge. So the charge is this built up, pent up energy, and when the fire of the Kundalini hits it, it ignites. So for many of you, you are feeling really intense energy. It can outplay in the body as release of congestion. I mean, I'm dealing with it. I've been dealing with it for weeks and weeks and weeks, just this congestion coming out. And I know, I can feel that something else is happening. It's not just a cold. For other people, it might be that you have intense moments where you're just crying and crying and crying. You may not even have a reason. There's no reason to cry. It often happens during the awakening, and in my experience, I'll find myself crying there's no story behind it. For you, you may be crying because there's been pent up lots of stories. But eventually what happens is that energy gets moved through, and it's moved not only through the body, it's moved through the emotional body, it's moved through the spiritual body. I want to, so the processes that people are experiencing that feel really, really intense, the best I can say about this is where your I want to use the word faith, and maybe for some of you that's kind of like too airy-fairy, but if you jumped on this train, if you're on the plane that's headed to awakening, if you're on the Diksha train, the oneness experience, you are someone who has a deep and powerful abiding faith. You believe in something greater than yourself, and you believe that it is transforming you. And what happens is we forget that anchor. We forget that connection when we're in our stuff, when we're sitting on the pity pot, when we're crying, when we're mad, when our fear raises its head. We forget that there's something greater than us, and that that divine grace is holding us, moving us through as we allow the energies to bust up these things that are essentially, they're not truths. They're not who we are. They're misperceptions that have really been built up over time, over lifetimes, over multiple experiences, as the divine is really calling us into the fullness of who we are, calling us into our higher self, calling us into the fulfillment of why we came here on the planet. We need to get rid of this stuff, this garbage, this misperception that shows up as fear, shows up as anger, shows up as resentment, shows up as feelings of I'll never make it, ain't it awful, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm stupid, this isn't it. All of these things are false perceptions that the mind has covered over to keep us from feeling that deep, deep, deep connection that we have with our divine. It's simply it's part of the mind game. So I want to take a look at a couple of the things that people wrote down on this white area. I don't know what we call that. It's sort of part of the chat, but it's not the chat. My glasses are dirty. And I super want to thank Istvan. Istvan lives in Budapest, or maybe not in Budapest, but he's in Hungary, and we're going to Skype today. He's been posting some of these archives that we've had over the past couple of months on YouTube, and we're going to take a look and figure out how we can create a YouTube channel so that it'll be easier for people to find some of these conversations, some of the teachings in oneness that we've been going over as a group, rather than having to search back through there. We're going to create a YouTube channel. So I'm super excited and so grateful for Istvan for stepping up to do that. And then he's going to show me what I need to do. So they're still really dirty. Oh well, we'll just deal. So this started out because I was getting some, I made it worse. Ever do that? I think I have. It started out because I was getting some emails of people that were just really going through some difficult times. So someone had said, I'm very emotional, crying what seems like several times daily, hypersensitive, my energy feels heavily suppressed, feeling a sense of dread, please weigh in. Are others, and that was my thing, was please weigh in, are others feeling these strong feelings? And again, what I'm trying to say to you is this is the awakening. It's probably stronger than you've ever felt it before because the Kundalini has activated these charges. And the only way to get over it is to go through it, which means that you have to feel it. This ties into one of the other things that somebody wrote up here, and I just want to, I gotta fix my glasses. I'm really sorry, guys, but they're too mucky. I think I just put a big fingerprint on them. Somebody wrote earlier about fear and being able, and I want to just read that because I thought that was, okay, okay, yes it is. It's Dong Yu. Hi Patricia, I have heard from others that, quote, you will get things that scare you most, or the things you have fear, fear on will eventually happen, that unquote. I wonder if that comment is true. That comment obstructs me from feeling the fear inside me because I'm afraid that if I feel the fear, they will come into reality. What a terrible world. So this is exactly the opposite of what if you feel the fear, it won't happen. It's when we're holding in consciousness. And again, when I say in consciousness, I'm talking about in the mind and also in the feeling nature, because consciousness is not just the mind. There's a huge intelligence of the heart that really, in most cases, can override the mind. So if we're carrying feelings of fear and we're not experiencing them, again, remember, it's anything experienced fully is joy. It's when we don't experience it that it has a life of its own. It has a life of its own in the feeling body and also in the stories we create about it. So what you have right here is a perfect example of a story. The story is that if I get in touch with it, if I feel it, it's going to come to pass. That's not the truth about it. It's really, if you don't feel it, if you don't experience it, the story will keep spinning, and that will most likely come to pass. It's like people who have these stories about how I'm always abandoned. I've always been abandoned. Nobody stays with me. I get a boyfriend and then they leave me. And underneath that is all this stuff about how I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, there must be something wrong with me. When we don't feel those feelings underneath this whole story of abandonment, we keep drawing to ourselves that picture so that we can feel it. It's coming to us saying, hello, please feel me, please feel me. This is not the truth of who you are. You are not separate. You do not need to live feeling alone your whole life. So hopefully that makes sense. It's about experiencing it, and the experience can cause, stuff we don't want. That's why we've been avoiding it for years. We've been drinking, we've been drugging, we've been, out there overindulging in all sorts of things to distract ourselves. The mind is a wizard at that. Don't feel it. I'm in charge here. I want you to need me so that you can feel how separate you are. I don't want you to feel at one. I don't want you to move outside of my control. So this is a perfect, thank you for that question, because I think it really kind of highlights part of what's going on here. And I love Nicole. Thank you, Nicole, for saying, I went through the same. She's talking about that crying and just that intense energy. Several weeks after returning from oneness this summer, basically I just stayed in bed and cried. I know a lot of us can't do that, but again, using that process that Doug gave us that I've been talking about, and again, Istvan's posted this on the YouTube, so when we get the channel up, it'll be right there. It's staying with the what is, being with the what is, because this is what Bhagwan is asking us to do. And for those of you who haven't had the permanent shift, you do this with effort. You do this as a practice. Ultimately, it just comes up because something comes up and you're able to just be with it, and this is the process. But for now, we need to be willing to practice it. So, Nanny, I'll try to explain what it's about. Yes, I'm through it in a few months. Sometimes it's very hard to feel and accept, but I understand that I need to see and feel the emotion to stay with what is, and after it's something changed and liberates some old energy. The biggest anger became awareness. This is exactly it. You see, and this is what Bhagwan's talking about. Awakening is awareness. When we have that awareness, when we're not in it anymore so deeply that we're not aware of what it is, then the awakening happens. We become witness to what that is. We say, oh my God, this is my anger. I see it, and I'm going to just stay with it instead of running from it. Thank you so much, Nanny. That's exactly what we're talking about right here. So accepting it, being with it. Sometimes it's hard to accept it. We can't accept the story, but we have to accept this feeling because it's part of who we are. Instead, stop running. Robin, in my experience, there's a difference between feeling what is without judging self for feeling it and wallowing in that. I shouldn't feel it. If you accept that it's okay not to like someone for whatever reason, simply feel that knowing it's your issue, nothing to do with them, and not beating yourself up. This is great. This is in response to someone's issue that I posted. And I'm going to see where that little posting is. It was a posting about not wanting to be around someone And where'd it go? Anyway, da-da-da-da-da-da. The issue of hypersensitive. I've noticed energy is really strong lately, too. We had lunar, solar, it's totally, which always enhance energy and emotional states, and oneness is more and more powerful. We're being forced to face and heal our stuff. That's absolutely true. Yeah, the moon has been awesome. I think we have moon tides. I want to share this, Elena, just because it's starting and it's the most wonderful thing. Amma Bhagwan manifested physically yesterday in the form of rainbow-colored light reflected everywhere I looked. Heart contracted and expanded at the same time. Uncontrollable laughter and crying. Pure love in the chest and the stomach. It lasted for about 2 hours, and the high state of consciousness remained for the rest of the night. Thank you, thank you. How beautiful, Elena. I love that. And Elena's somebody who's been in a few of my processes, and she's coming to the mother health process we're doing in Marin, December 8th. So thank you for sharing. Amma Bhagwan are here to manifest. They are so here for us. It's quite awareness. Okay, so love the inner integrity, awareness for K to C. There's nothing wrong. It was K, wasn't it, K? Okay, oh, it's up at the top. All right, this is the question. How can I not like another and it not be wrong? I love this person and wish them happiness. I know I love them, mental, but I do not like them. Yet, by admitting that, I feel I'm being judgmental and non-loving. The truth is I don't like her or want her to be part of my life. Any words of wisdom? Well, I think you've gotten a lot of words of wisdom from people. And yes, it is very much like that. The love is a heart experience. But we can love somebody even though we don't love their behavior. It's just like if you've been in some sort of abusive relationship, you can understand why the person was abusive to you. You can understand that they have challenges and issues in your life and have compassion for that. You can even love that person from a very unconditional place and know that it's totally not okay to be around them because of their behavior. They may not have had any sort of shift. You've had a shift and so you need to take care of yourself. And the same goes true with people that we love and, we may have been friends with for a long time that are no longer connecting with us at the same level, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. So yes. And to not judge ourselves about it because there's no judgment involved. It simply is. It simply is. We don't choose to be with everyone. It's just part of the what is. And so beautiful to look at the judgment. If the judgment's coming up, you see, again, that's the beautiful thing. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow because I really want to help and support you guys to look at your resistance. Because in the resistance is a lot of the juiciness here. And that's what that process is. You think you're feeling one thing. I don't like her, but what's under that is this judgment. And then even under the judgment, what is that? That's where the kind of rubber meets the road. That's where the crystallized energy is really intense. So I'm really happy. This is so great. Okay, I'm going to see if I see anything over here that we need to look at. It's 19 after. I've got 139 of you. Hi, so many people I love on here. Mary, Henny, Bogomil. Beautiful. Sarah, does the Kundalini work on 1 or 2 chakras at a time? As I get swirly vibes in mostly heart and abdomen. It doesn't go to the 7th chakra. Please explain. Oh, beautiful. So, this is another conversation. And I think I'll put that in for one of the later Q&As at the end of the week. I've got that. Maybe Thursday. We'll talk about the movement of the Kundalini through each of the chakras. What I can tell you is it's moving from the abdomen to the heart. It'll begin to actually settle in the heart and not go back down to the abdomen. As you begin to clear some of these lower chakras, it'll settle there. This is the beginning of the flowering experience of the heart. This is the beginning of this awareness of the what is. And it's what they would say when they talk about these different stages of awakening. When it comes into the heart and it settles in that area and doesn't keep going back down again, this is the awakening in Christianity. This is like the Christ love, where the divine has moved to your heart. really, really powerful. In our call yesterday with Doug G, the minister's call we had last night, he shared some beautiful things, which I will, over the course of time share with you all. But this was one of my specific questions to him, to talk more about the Kundalini, because in these Skypes from Bhagwan's talking that this is what Diksha does: intention Diksha, hands-on Diksha, awakened Diksha, the Om meditation, and then the Diksha webcast from Bhagwan. It's all about raising the Kundalini, clearing the energies in the chakras, and then that is what creates the change in the brain. That is what causes the shift in the brain for our awakening. And then it just continues. It continues. It moves us into higher and higher levels. So I want to talk more about that, but we don't have time to do that today. So I just want to say one thing to you. You guys are my live stream family, and I am not able to go to India now. I would actually be on the airplane right now. My plane would have left at 8:15 this morning. I got a notice, and I had a free ticket, which was way cool. But I'm not going. I'm going to stay home and be with family for Thanksgiving, because it's really important to do that. And, it's all about setting right relationships. So I am going to be going in January to do the advanced trainers. I want to be able to really offer as much as I can to all of you and to people that I connect with when I travel, and to my home community here. So I had to buy a ticket to go, which was like, put it on my credit card, because I've just determined that this is how it's going to go. And Bhagwan has told me that I'll be supported to do this oneness work. But I really want to invite and ask all of you if there's any way that you can continue to support me with some even really small financial donation. Makes a huge difference, because it just does. There are a couple things that are on my website. One is I do private sessions with people, and it's an hour-long session. I do it either Skype or phone, and sometimes people like to pay a little bit more and have me send the transcription so they can listen again. That is on my website on onenessprogram.com, and if you would like to have that, I think with a Skype I can probably do it with anybody, anywhere. It's quite a wonderful experience, and I just love to be with people and just help you and support you in your process. So I do charge for that, and so that's one way that I can support myself and start putting money away to pay this credit card off so I can go to the advanced trainer. The other thing is I had the 4-basket process online for no charge at all for over 2 months. I put it on early September, and yesterday I took it off, and I put a note in there that anybody who would like to receive it, I would love to receive a donation for it. Again, it can be $5 or whatever, it doesn't have to be big, but there's just an energy exchange that would be beautiful to receive. If, of course, you can't do that for whatever reason, resources are not there to do that, or because your country doesn't work with the PayPal system I have for credit cards, just send me your link, and I will, of course, send you the file. It's a hour and 45-minute process that I've put together. Many of you have done it, and I'm so grateful, and many of you have sent me a small donation for it, which I appreciate. But I just feel like I need to really put this out. Bhagwan's told me that I need to ask and not just continue to just say, okay, universe, so I'm asking for any kind of financial support in that way. It'll go directly into my little account to pay for my airline and my trip in January. So that's that. Also, any of you who may want to go in April, that trip is down the road, but we want to start preparing for it. April Trainers Course starts April 1st, or the April Deepening, and I'm going to be one of the lead national organizers for that. So you can go to oneness.usa.org and find out how to connect in with myself or with another lead national organizer if you're from the U.S. or Canada and you'd like to go to India for one of those courses. I'd love to go with you. It would be so much fun. So anyway, we're going to do a Oneness Awakening Diksha. And what I've put on for our music today is basically Om with Ohms. So we're going to start out with with Guru Om, with Donna Delori from her Sanctuary album. Then we're going to hear, and that's going to be for our Awakened Diksha. And then I'm going to turn this off, and we'll archive this. And we're going to begin the Om, the Oneness meditation, with Sudha and Manesh on Om Shanti, and then Mercedes Baleda, Om Mani Padme Om, and then finally Lorraine Hortzman, Sea of Om. So it's going to be 3 different pieces, all Oms for the Oneness meditation. And then, of course, you'll open your eyes when you hear that powerful chant on the Liberation Sutra. So I'm going to put our music on, and I'm going to turn off my other sound. All of you who are awakened, if you'd like to give the Awakened Diksha, we're going to blast you all, massive raising of your Kundalini, plow through whatever charges might be there, and move into that high state of awareness, and feel that presence of your divine. Love you so much.
And what is Guru or who is Guru? The conscience within you is the Guru. The one that guides you. The one that enlightens you. As such, there is a Guru in everybody.
Guru Om, Satya Guru, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Prema Guru, Guru Om. In this place I hold the truth. In your shelter, sanctuary, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Sachidananda, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Sachidananda, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Bhakti Guru, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Shanti Guru, Guru Om. There's a faith forever true in your shelter, sanctuary, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Sachidananda, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Sachidananda, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Sachidananda, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Sachidananda, Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om. In your shelter, I let these feelings go. In your shelter, I lose all control. In your shelter, I'm letting go of me. In your shelter, love is all I ever really need.